Morning. Today's video is sponsored by Syngenta. This morning we are taking a little road trip. Dax shot a 9-point buck last night. I put a picture now, but taking it to a butcher shop down the road here. Anyways, take us down here to the butcher shop and then we're gonna get started planting wheat. Not how I wanted to start today since we got a rainstorm moving in, but he was pretty jacked up, so I told him we'd get some deer jerky made. Just deer everywhere today. All right, just getting to the drill here. So last night when I stopped, I loaded the drill and I just changed variety. So we need to hop in there, unfold it and calibrate it. And then we're gonna go finish up a field that I started last night. All right, let's go get this thing calibrated. Again, we do this just to make sure our drill is as accurate as possible. Now a drill is way different than a traditional style planter, because in a traditional style planter, like our corn planter or like our old bean planter, we were actually counting with a little sensor seeds coming out of the planter. This thing, we're not counting seeds, we are counting revolutions of a meter. We have to calibrate how much seed is being distributed by weight per revolution of that meter. So that's why we have to do this, and we didn't have to do this with a regular planter. An extra step, yes. More simple though, yes. Instead of having a sensor on every row, or a meter on every row, there's just a meter here and a meter there. So here we gotta drop these little doors. This is how we get our sample. Whenever I tell this meter to calibrate, seed will distribute through there into a bag. Then we'll weigh that bag, compare that to what the monitor thinks that we did, and we'll put that in there and we'll be calibrated. So an Avatar, I believe, is roughly $200,000. And one of the main components of this whole apparatus is this little fish scale from Walmart. Here's what a meter looks like. This is a different meter that we don't use, but the one we are using looks just like that. Put this back in our drill so we can, plant it. So we were half a pound off. Not terrible, but we want to be accurate. There's our max speed and our minimum speed that our meters can do. Now obviously we don't want to be pushing that max, but if we want to go faster than that or slower than that, I need a different meter. Now we scroll over to the second meter and do the process all over again. Electric poles are fun. I call this pole dancing, ag style. Yep, you guys are in for a show. I believe you can leave tips in YouTube videos now, so do that below if you so wish. I'm really putting on a show here. Now for the finale. And we did it. Didn't even tear anything out. Dad on the phone, and well, they're running corn. I thought they were going to run beans today, but they're running corn right beside the next field we're going to. So Dad had to go let the dogs out, so I'm gonna hop in the combine for a little bit, and I think he's gonna plant some wheat when he gets back. So keep progress moving forward. Now we do have a storm rolling in tonight, and I really want to get that field I just started done. We also want to finish up this field down here. So this corn here was treated with Miravis Neo. So we are running, this field's averaging 230 with the ends even on it. And out here in the middle, we're doing pretty good yields, especially for the dry weather. I mean, we have had roughly, I think 9 inches of rain since June 1st, something like that. And for this gravelly, sandy ground, that's not enough. I would have never guessed that we would have these kind of yields. But here we are. I mean, we're having some pretty good yields in some fields, especially the ones we treated with fungicide. Now, conventional wisdom would have told my dad and I that, oh, we've got a dry year, we don't need to put any kind of treatment on our corn. The disease pressure is low. Well, just because it's low doesn't mean it's not there. The side of the river is right in front of me. There's always a fog bank here. This is one of the most highly susceptible areas for gray leaf spot you can possibly find in the state of Ohio. Plus, even in a drought, fungicides like Miravis Neo have a strobi in them that really helps trick the corn plant into not thinking that it's in a drought. And when that happens, basically the corn plant keeps producing grain even while it's in stressed, very drought-like conditions. So normally when corn that isn't treated gets into a drought and realizes, oh, we're burning up, we need to do something, it's going to start making its grain, cutting its losses right then and there and producing its crop. Whereas with this fungicide treated on it, it's not doing that. It is pushing through. It is tricking that crop and pushing through, and we are making great yields. So yeah, I think this fungicide really helped us get the most out of this crop even in less than favorable conditions. So really pleased with that. Now, I just said a lot of big words, and I hope I said them correctly, but that is my understanding of it. Now, this right here is a gravel bar. Even in this gravel bar, we're 160 bushel. But yeah, overall, a very healthy crop, still producing bushels. Can't beat that. Makes me way happier to run the combine. So one way to think about applying fungicide in a drought on corn, think about it like this. If you were starting an endurance race and you had the flu, how do you think you would fare in that versus if you were starting an endurance race and you were perfectly healthy? So that's how I kind of look at fungicide in general, but then especially when you throw in the drought function factor, that plant being healthy going into that dry spell, I think it's going to merge up. It's going to merge out the other side much better off. So we also put a fungicide product on our soybeans this year. We've used Travapro on all of our bean acres that we applied. Here's a clip from that. We did that field, what was that, a week ago? So here's a clip from that footage. So this side of the field had no fungicide, no Travapro. Here's what we're running. We're gonna go get a pass from the other side of the field. So here is our Travapro soybean. So not like a 10 or 15 bushel difference, but it does appear that they are a little bit better. I guess the best way to do that would be get a scale weight, but with Dad and me running in 2 different places, I don't think we're going to have the opportunity to do that, unfortunately, today. So while the soybeans didn't quite see the yield bump we're seeing with corn, we did still see a yield bump, 5 bushel at $12 a bushel. You know, that adds up quite a bit, especially, that adds up quite a bit. So overall, I think even in a dry season, this fungicide our fungicide program still paid for itself. Happy with those results. I mean, look at that. I would have never guessed this year that we would have numbers like that. All right, my time in the combine has came to an end. Dad's out of wheat, so I'll go fill up the wheat drill. Dad can have this back. I'm sure he's let the dogs out by now, and he can get back to well, harvesting good corn. Everybody's in a better mood when the corn's good. So BJ had to go pick up his son a little bit ago. He's going to bring my truck and seed tender down here because I got to fill up. So while I'm waiting on him, I'm going to run the cart for Dad for a round. That way he doesn't have to deadhead back here to unload. Due to these double crops, we can't quite get the trucks all the way back, so the cart would be a little bit of a little bit of a time-consuming deadhead for it. Oh man, this is a good ride. Not sure what's going on here, but my seed tender has decided to take a little break. Well, the rain was early. There's a chance of rain for later this evening, but not for like another 3 hours. And wouldn't you know, it's raining. Apparently, to bust this drought, I should have just tried to plant something. Not gonna lie, right now I feel pretty defeated. I fully expected to be able to plant all the wheat acres in 2 days, and I think we're 3 days into it, and we still have like 150 acres left. No, we got 200 acres left. We're barely half done. Now my seed tender won't work, and it's raining. And it's October 19th. I'd like to have my wheat in by now. We desperately need some rain. I just wish all the wheat was in the ground getting this rain. It has stopped raining for now, but I'm pulling this in here to work on it. And it's supposed to start raining here soon again. Here it is fixed. We're going to see what we can make happen. Looks like there's a storm cell coming relatively soon, but it's not here yet. Oh yeah, buddy, it's a coming. The rain be close. I can smell it. Let's at least get this tender empty and make sure it's going to work. Assuming everything works now, my assumption will be that I just overloaded the conveyor. So wheat is more dense than soybeans, and I might have just overloaded it. Never done that before, and I've used that conveyor for 3 years, that tender. So I don't know. Kind of odd, but we're gonna find out. All right, folks, that's gonna be it for this video. It's starting to rain again, and it doesn't look good for production, so it's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. If you would do me a favor, if you haven't, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying it, drop us a comment, check out the links in the description, and we'll see you in the next one.